Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Welcome into another edition of WPRI OOT. I'm Ruthie Polinsky, joined by Yanni Caracas and Mark Dondero. The whole squad back together.
Squad up.
Squad. Nux. Obviously, we're going to be a little Patriot central today.
Yeah, heavy.
Big week. AFC Championship. You guys take this for granted. You're used to these AFC Championships.
Every year Mark and I have worked here. This is our 5th AFC Championship week. Old hat, right?
That's crazy. You guys are so spoiled.
Really, the Patriot season doesn't begin in the divisional round of the playoffs. It's true.
Yeah, regular season
Meanwhile,
games.
You're just like crying in the office every week when worrying about the Patriots losing. But you pick them to win every week.
He picked them to win every single game this year. He picked them to go undefeated. 19-0.
All right, let's get right into our first question. Patriots taking on the Jaguars. A little surprising there. We thought everyone kind of thinking it was maybe going to be the Steelers, but it's not. Are the Jaguars a disappointing opponent in the AFC Championship game? Mark?
I will say initially my thought was this is mildly disappointing. I wanted the Steelers because I thought the Steelers would talk. I wanted to listen to them talk. That's what I wanted. But then Jalen Ramsey gets off the plane in Jacksonville and makes some comments. We've heard we're gonna win this game. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. We're gonna win this B word. So I enjoyed that. It's a young team. It's a team. You don't have much of a rivalry with this team.
Right.
But Tom Coughlin's there. They have a good pass rush. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the history against the Patriots and Tom Brady and going up against Tom Coughlin and a good pass rush isn't very good. So that keeps me interested. And I think that I think that this could be a juicy game in some ways. I think Tom Brady, especially when you consider how, and I know he played great against the Titans, but how he's played over the course of the last quarter of the season, and his age, and all the skeptics out there, I think this will be a great test for him. And it would really not that he has to, but it would really shut up a lot of people if he goes out against this defense and plays well on his way to a 100 Super Bowl or whatever it is.
Are the Jaguars a disappointing opponent? In a word, yes. Because we wanted the Steelers. I'm into the quarterback matchups. I don't like what's going on in the NFC with all those scrubs. I want Brady and I want Big Ben on the marquee, and I wanted Brady and Breeze. We now know that's not going to happen. I wanted the rematch. Mike Tomlin talking, as Mark, you were saying, all the rematch from the AFC Championship game, the rematch from the game in December that you were at that was so good. But as we were in Foxborough today, I'm buying into this game a little bit more. I think the Jaguars are a worthy opponent. And I think it could be potentially closer than a Steelers game would be. They do a lot of things that the Steelers don't do as well. They're more disciplined. They don't make mistakes. I think they're well coached, coming down from Coughlin and Doug Marrone. But I asked Gresh this last night, Titans and Jags to get to the Super Bowl. It feels like the Patriots didn't really earn getting to the big game. I loved all those years where they had to beat Manning to get there. Or, you mentioned someone mentioned the 0-1 team when you beat the Raiders and then you beat the Steelers. I mean, you're just not getting that with Tennessee and Jacksonville. But what if, I ask you guys, what if this is year one of a prolonged run for the Jags? And we're like, do you remember we got the early young Jags?
Let me just say this real quick, Ruthie. When Richard Sherman came up to Tom Brady and said, "You mad, bro?"
Yeah.
We didn't know what the Seahawks were at that time, but they turned into this juggernaut for 3 years, and that was a really good game that we just didn't know about. This could be that.
Yeah,
I will totally disagree with you on the point that, they didn't earn it. Look, they're playing who is still alive. What was that?
You play who you're playing.
They play who's still in the playoffs. That's what they're doing. So this team, they beat the Steelers. They beat the Bills. They're going to the AFC Championship game. It's not the Patriots' fault that the other teams can't be as good as them. It's not Google's fault that Ask Jeeves couldn't cut it. So you have to just play who you're going to play, and that's how it goes. So I don't buy. I mean, look.
But it makes the story better. It makes the resume better.
So the DVD won't be quite as juicy as we've seen in past years, but they still earn it.
Here's what I was going to say. Is this a disappointment? Until I saw them play the Steelers last night, yes. If I wouldn't have seen them play as well as they played last night against Sunday night against the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
That was last night. It's been a long week.
Sunday
it's
evening.
Monday. The way they played at Heinz Field, putting up 1,000 points
45.
on the Steelers in Heinz Field in Pittsburgh in that atmosphere. This is a good football team, and I'm buying into. We were there today, and this is going to be a fun game. Is it a sexy matchup with Blake Bortles? Like, no, it's not.
Well, that's the key.
It's not.
Sexy is quarterback,
Sexy,
and you don't have the matchups
right, you don't
to market.
have, right. But it's, like you said, it's young. It's a different kind of group I think we've seen maybe from any team they've played all year. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be close.
Well, we're going to do the predictions in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that. You want to go to the next question?
Yeah.
What we got?
All right. Oh, this is kind of a sad question for me. Who's harder to say goodbye to?
Ooh.
Matt Patricia or Josh McDaniels?
Well,
obviously, both teams looking at jobs. Matt Patricia likely going to the Lions now, right? Josh McDaniels going to the Colts.
I'm going to say it's McDaniels because
Tougher to replace.
Tougher to replace because Bill Belichick has a defensive background. I think he can groom a guy in the system defensively, whether it's Flores, he may leave. I think the defense, while Belichick has his hands in everywhere, he can dive into the defense more. Offensively, we know Josh McDaniels has been here for a long time. He started here in 2004, 2 stints between Denver, but he and Tom Brady are like besties, right? Bromance City. And according to this new documentary, it shows a lot of Brady and McDaniels interactions. You can't underestimate how much these guys hang out. They're probably calling each other at 1 a.m. Hey, I saw this in the defensive coverage. We should institute this for this week. So I think the relationship with Brady and McDaniels is essential. And listen, the Patriots, as long as they have Brady and these weapons, whoever replaces McDaniels, if it's Chad O'Shea, I think they'll still put up points. But I think you're going to miss McDaniels more
just chemistry-wise almost
than Patricia.
I think, once again, I disagree. I think Patricia will be missed more than Josh McDaniels, mainly because I get what you're saying about Bill Belichick, but mainly because the quarterback for Patricia's unit is not nearly as impactful as the quarterback of Josh McDaniels' group. The quarterback of the team, of the football team, I mean, think about how many coordinators and coaches Peyton Manning went through, and it was the same thing every time. You got Peyton Manning. He ran the offense. He was the offense. So it didn't matter if it was Jim Caldwell or Tony Dungy, who I think are both putzes as far as coaches. Tom Moore, this guy, this coordinator, it didn't matter. Peyton Manning was Peyton Manning, and he's the one that really orchestrated the offense. So because you have Tom Brady on offense, assuming if we're talking about him playing for 4 more years, if he leaves after this year, that's a different conversation. I think whoever comes in will have Tom Brady to lean on, Tom Brady to make the checks at the line, and it might be close, but I think Patricia, and I haven't been the biggest Matt Patricia fan over the course of his time here. He's done a good job. I think overall, I'd say Patricia might be a little bit harder to replace just because he doesn't have that guy on the field he can lean on. Hightower's great, but it's middle linebacker, not a quarterback.
With Tom Brady almost being co-offensive coordinator.
Co-offensive coordinator.
He's going to be just fine almost teaching the new offensive
Correct.
coordinator how it goes.
The system has been in
place.
place.
We know Belichick likes to hire from within. I don't think he's hired anyone from outside for those positions since he's been here, since he initially had Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel.
Both will be missed. I just think it'll be a little bit harder on the defensive side to replace what he's been doing.
If whoever gets OC gets the Bill O'Brien treatment. O'Brien wasn't officially named offensive coordinator. He was like offensive assistant. Like they didn't officially name one that year. So like Belichick makes you pay your dues before he gives you the title.
Ugh, brutal. Would not want to have him as my boss.
Okay.
Thoughts on the NFL's Final Four, right? We're down to 4 teams. Is that a disappointment? Are you excited by it? Is it interesting?
You know, well, like we said, we want those quarterback matchups is kind of what the playoffs is all about. There are no quarterback matchups really to get excited about. Now, good teams.
Right.
But it does sort of feel like, and I'm not going to sit here and say the Patriots are locks to win the Super Bowl because I don't think that necessarily. But it does sort of feel like 2006, sort of, when the Patriots played the Colts, and I thought that the winner of that game would just easily win the Super Bowl because the team they were going to play, the Bears, great defense, Rex Grossman. It sort of feels like there's 3 Rex Grossman-led Bears out there and the Patriots. That's what it sort of feels like.
The Bears beat in that NFC title game?
The Saints, Drew Brees. But I'm just saying, you know, 3 kind of backups. I mean, Nick Foles is a backup. Case Keenum has been essentially was a backup.
Keenum were on the Rams together.
It's crazy.
They were backups, and Blake Bortles. So he's a good quarterback, but like I just think that the Patriots and these 3 teams don't provide a lot of juice. Now, 3 top 4 defenses aside from the Patriots. So I'm not going to discount them because you know how I feel about defense, but you also need balance. You need balance. And we'll see.
Well, from a marketing standpoint, the NFL suits don't love this because they want Brady, Breeze, Big Ben. They don't want Case Keenum on the market.
What I'm rooting for, I guess, now is not what I'm picking. What I'm rooting for, I guess, will be Patriots versus the hometown team in the Super Bowl.
It would be crazy. It would be a very cool story.
It's never happened.
How that manifests itself if they're in Minnesota.
Let
I
the
have a
Patriots-
personal angle with Philly. My wife's from there.
Okay.
So that'd be cool in our household.
Yeah.
Eagles, Patriots. But you know what this is? This is a Final Four with Duke, Wichita State, Tulsa, and Texas A&M.
See, I don't like that.
That's what it is.
No, because these aren't.
But
they're big name organizations. It just doesn't have the quarterback, you know.
But
I see what you're saying.
The teams, like
I see what you're saying. No, I know.
I like Eagles, big city, Philly, NFC East, good division
Oh,
historically.
man.
But I watch them, and I don't get excited to watch any of their players.
Wentz would make it exciting.
Wentz would be huge.
Let me say this: if Nick Foles is able to win the Super Bowl after what that team went through with losing Wentz, that would be incredible.
I don't know how you don't pick the Eagles to win the next 7 Super Bowls if that's the case, because Wentz is way better than Nick Foles.
There's some intrigue in LeGarrette Blount and Chris Long coming from the Patriots going there.
Yeah, a lot of overlapping.
Not my favorite Final Four ever. But
not even close.
Yeah, I was really rooting for that Drew Brees. We were talking about this in the car today. Drew Brees is 39. How cool of a story would that have been to have Tom Brady? It's so underplayed because it's like Tom Brady, you're 40.
Yeah.
Whereas Drew Brees,
you're
literally almost there. And
I
he's going to play next year.
They're right there in either wins or touch. One of those stats they keep going back and forth at. They're neck and neck.
They would have been. That wouldn't have been a great matchup, I don't think, for the Patriots. I think that would have been a tough matchup.
It would have been scary, a little scary.
I think both the Vikings, because they have good defense.
Yeah.
But the Jags have a good defense. If the Pats are up 2 scores, do you trust the Jaguars to come back to win?
No, I don't.
And also, you say, oh, they played so well against the Steelers, but do you think playing the Steelers at Heinz is just a little bit downscale than playing the Patriots at Foxborough? Like,
not from an environment's perspective,
but just intimidation-wise.
I don't think so personally. But here's the thing: the Patriots don't do. They don't shoot themselves in the foot. They don't make mistakes. They don't have clock management issues like Mike Tomlin.
Right.
So much of that hurts these teams from the get-go, and the Patriots just never hurt themselves.
And it also helped Jacksonville that they went to Pittsburgh earlier in the year and demolished them.
Right.
So that was something that they carried back into Pittsburgh.
Mike Tomlin was asked, were you guys looking ahead of the Patriots? Oh, no. They whooped our butts back in October. But Mike Tomlin on Sunday Night Football was talking about 2 matchups with the Patriots in Week 8.
If that was any other, somebody said this, and I totally agree. If that was any other organization, he'd be on the severely hot seat.
Well, I said that today. I said, why isn't his job at stake? You had clock management issues all season, late game, situational football. F.
Mike Tomlin is get the talent, fire up the boys, and then that's it.
That's
it. Then
I don't even know if he talks into the
that's
thing.
It.
It's
you
just
go out
flipped
there.
Up the whole
fire
time.
up the boys and fist pump when good things happen. There's no coaching.
He needs a game day coach. He needs to hire like Ernie Adams to just coach the game.
Yeah. A consigliere, coaching consigliere.
All right, let's get to our game picks.
Is this the last one? Or
last one.
I never saw the topic. Sorry.
Cool. Last one.
Just a baller. He's just a baller.
On a Monday, game picks?
I know.
Let's go.
All right. I didn't even think about my score.
All right, you start.
No score. You don't need to give a score.
Okay.
All right, no score yet.
Okay, so this doesn't have to be a straight up pick. It can be how you think the game's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Patriots. We're all going to pick the Patriots, obviously. I just think. Here we go. If the Patriots get into a situation like the one they were in last year against the Texans, they'll have a better chance of losing this game. I think the Jaguars' offense is more competent than Brock Osweiler. I think Blake Bortles is better than Brock Osweiler. Their weapons, the running back, Leonard Fournette, good running back. So I definitely give Jacksonville a chance. And obviously, look, he's up in the booth, he's up in the skybox, whatever. Tom Coughlin, though, being a part. If I'm Tom Coughlin this week, I say, listen, Doug, I don't know who has the rank here. You step aside, you sit down. I got something to say. Okay, I got something to say, so you listen up, everybody. That's what I would do. Now, I don't know if he steps on his toes. I don't care. It's the Patriots, and I'm the Patriots killer.
He's
Doug.
the Patriot killer.
So,
God, just having him in the building makes you feel
good pass rush, Tom Coughlin. I'm not going to just dismiss that. So I think the Patriots win. I won't say it'll be a blowout, but if it was a blowout, I mean, look, Jimmy Garoppolo really ripped apart this defense, and Ben Roethlisberger threw for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They had success in
their defense.
I think right now their defense isn't playing quite as good. Now they held Buffalo in check. I think the Patriots will be able to move the ball. I think they'll gain control of the game. Jacksonville will hang around. Okay.
Buffalo scored 3
Okay.
points in that play.
Yeah, that was pretty
the Jags have 2 really good corners, but the Patriots can win without going outside the numbers. They can win with Gronk. They can win with the running
Like
backs.
Paul Puzzlesny. I mean, I guess you could put Jalen Ramsey on Gronk. I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know who covers
got
Gronk.
good
So I
size.
think the Patriots are going to score enough. The Jags' best chance at making this close is low scoring, tote the rock with
Tote
Leonard
the rock.
Fournette. But here's what teams do against the Pats. They get down 7 and they freak out and avoid the run. When what got you here? Running the ball. They got to stick with
Right.
Leonard Fournette. And that makes Bortles good because he does play action. If they're down 2 scores and they have to go out wide, they don't have a lot of talent in terms of playmakers, receivers. I don't think they can win that game. So if it's within 7 to 10 points, they control time of possession. Maybe you get a turnover from Brady. I think you get close into the 4th, but I think the Pats are going to end up winning by 10 points.
Let me just say this. I will say that historically, when the Patriots lose in the playoffs, they don't lose to the quarterback that throws for 7 touchdowns against them
Right.
and rips apart their defense, the Patriots' defense. They lose to the team with the good defense, with the good pass rush, with the team or with the unit that can get to Tom Brady, and the offense doesn't dominate, and then the other offense, the opposing offense, scores enough to win.
You gotta get to Brady, though.
The only time
Makes
they've
me so
lost that
nervous.
game where it's been a shootout, I think, is that 06 championship game,
Yeah.
and that took Peyton Manning and the Colts at the height of their powers. They usually lose to the Jets, where Mark Sanchez just does enough, and they, get in Brady's
Manning
face.
in 15 was
Manning
a
in
shell of
15
himself.
was a waste, and the defense dominated.
Flacco, I don't remember how he played in 12.
Well, when they've lost to the Ravens, Brady, defense for the Ravens, that was something that they were able to do. They had a good defensive day. So
Yeah.
that's usually the game they lose in the playoffs, not when the opposing quarterback, the Roethlisbergers or whatever, with Bryant and all these guys, come in and throw for 6 touchdowns.
There's also a feeling of a little bit of an unknown here. I don't know.
Like almost like we weren't really paying attention to them, not thinking they were like legit necessarily. Their defense scares me in terms of Saxonville and just Brady's health.
Saxonville.
That's what they're called. Literally, Saxonville
Yeah.
Jaguars. They are good at getting to the quarterback, and that makes me nervous.
And without
with
blitzing.
Brady's mental game and his because he can get a little thrown off.
Yeah,
if he gets taken down a couple times,
Yep.
and it also scares me with his health. Like I'm just going to throw that out there because God knows what he's enduring at the moment.
The
Achilles, the shoulder, the
But
brain.
like we've seen it before, if they can get pressure with just 4 and flood the middle of the field, that's where they've had issues.
Here's my thing with the Patriots that kind of really struck home with me on Saturday when we were at the game. There are so many guys on that field that can make a clutch play that Brady trusts, and he can put the ball in James White, Brandon Bolden, Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan's healthy, Rex Burkhead's supposed to be back. Like, no one else in the NFL has this many weapons. There's no freaking way that they are going to be able to take Gronk. How am I not even mentioning Gronk? Gronk didn't even score till the 4th quarter, and we're like, oh, where's Gronk been? Then, oh, there he is. It's like there is no one that is going to be able to take down every single weapon on this team. Even if Brady is taking it, you just run the ball. He'll be fine. That's my take.
I thought you were going to fall. Peace out.
I was just going to that was my exit.
All right.
Okay. Is that it? Are we done?
That'll be it.
I'm excited for this week. You excited?
Yeah.
Obviously, tune in to
up there all
WPRI
week.
and Fox Providence. We'll be up there all
Up
week.
there all week, live reports,
Facebook
Laticu.
Live,
Yeah.
Laticu.
Laticu, #Laticu. Catch
Hashtag.
full episode online, WPRI.com, on social media, at Mark Dondero, at Ruthie Politsky.
At Yanni Crockett.
Can you do your fake newscaster voice?
I was bad at it. Yours is so good. Do yours. That's all, folks.
That'll do it for
See you
the
next
latest
time.
edition of Double OT, and remember, that's how the cookie crumbles. Whammy!
Bye, Mark.